in secondary sector. Okay, and this 1000 will be calculated in the secondary sector. Okay, so this first 100 rupees will be calculated in the GDP of primary sector, and the second 1000 rupees will be calculated in the GDP of secondary sector. So if you look at this carefully, the final product is biscuit packet. So as the definition of GDP says, we have to calculate only final goods and services. That's why this 100 rupees will not be calculated, and only the 2000 rupees will be calculated as GDP. Okay, because we have to calculate only final goods and services while calculating the gross domestic product of the while taking out or calculating gross domestic product of the country. Now we move on to the historical change in the sector. So in this we will learn about the changes that happened in primary, secondary, tertiary sector in the history. Okay, so since the beginning the most important sector was the primary sector. So first, in the beginning the most important sector was the primary sector, as the people, they were mostly dependent on agriculture. Okay, but with the change of time, within few hundred years industries were set up. Okay, so within a few hundred years, what happened? Industries, factories were set up. That comes under secondary sector, and it became the second. And this shift was also there due to the, so this shift in from primary to secondary sector was also there due to the production of the agriculture, due to the huge production of agriculture, and the people went to sell their extra crop, and the people wanted to sell their extra crop where they will sell. That's why this secondary sector was came. That's why there was secondary sector. And the few decade ago, tertiary sector became an important sector because the income of the people started increasing. So, and few decades later, what happened? The tertiary sector became an important sector. Why? Because the income of the people started increasing, and they had lots of money to spend. Okay, this is why you can see most of the people watching movies, uh, traveling in aeroplanes, and uh, shoppings and all. Okay, all this comes under uh, tertiary sector, and they also started using internet. And so in every developed country have gone through. So that's why there is a that's why there was a change in this primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. So in every developed country have gone through this historic change. So next we will see about the condition of sectors in India. So primary, secondary, and tertiary sector in India. So in truth, so in 1970 and 71, most of the GDP in India came from primary sector. So most of the GDP in India came from primary sector in India, and the secondary and tertiary sector GDP was almost the same. But in 2011 and 12, the GDP increased in all three sectors, but the tertiary was first, and second was secondary, and the third was primary. So students, what happened during this time so that the tertiary sector became number one in India? So what happened during this 2011 and 12 so that the gross domestic product from the tertiary sector became the highest in India? So there are four reasons. Number one is government has developed hospitals, schools, police, armies, banks, transport, post office, etc., which are basic need of the country, and they are a part of tertiary sector. So the government has developed many hospitals, army, banks, transportation, and post office, etc., so that the people would not be deprived of the basic needs. But all these things comes under tertiary sector. Okay, that's why the GDP of tertiary sector increased. Okay, next is development in agriculture and industry have also led the development of tertiary sector. So there was a development in primary and secondary activities. So if the primary and all the as these three sectors are interrelated, and if the primary and secondary sectors are developed, then automatically the tertiary sector will also develop. Okay, and next is number 3 point is, as the income level raised, eating eating out, shopping, tourism, etc. became the more common for all the people in the society. That's why, so all this comes under tertiary sector. Okay, and the number 4 is, new service like information and communication technology has become important and essential, as the Google's, Facebook, hike using internet became very common and very essential for all the people of the country. That's, and all these things also comes under tertiary sector. This is the four reason how why and how the tertiary sector became number one in India. Okay, next is employment of the people in different sector. So 49% of the people are employed in the primary sector in our country, and 24% are employed in the secondary sector in our country, and 27% are employed in the tertiary sector in our country. Why there is more percent of people employed in the primary sector in our country? Because most of people in our country are dependent on agriculture, and that's why most of the people are engaged in the primary sector. And if you have to do work in the tertiary and secondary sector, the person should be educated or skilled. And in our country, most of the persons still today till today is, most of the people are illiterate. That's why more percentage of employed person are there in primary sector. Okay, next is the share of GDP in primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. So if you talk about share of GDP, so the highest share comes from tertiary sector, and the lowest share comes from primary sector. It's just the opposite of employment and employment. Okay, because if you see, most of the person are employed in the primary sector, then also the primary sector is only providing 15% of GDP in our country. But the most of and the less percentage of people are engaged in the tertiary sector, but also the tertiary sector is providing 58% of GDP to our country. Why? Because all these points I have already discussed right now till now, just before only. So that all are the reason behind this increase in the percentage of GDP in the tertiary sector. Okay, so creating more jobs, how the government can create more job. Okay, so here are some points. Number 1 is, government can provide cheap loans to the farmers so that they can do farming with the best tools and practice multi-cropping to remain employed throughout the year. So if the government will provide loan, the farmers will practice multi-cropping, because they will invest some of the money in high yielding varieties of crops and for the irrigational purposes. This is how they can do multi-cropping throughout the year, and they will create employment throughout the year. Number 2 is, government can invest money in transportation and construct new roads. So if the government will invest money in transportation and construction, what happens, the more people will get jobs as a labor. And if the transport network is good, the vehicle will start flying, and the auto driver, taxi driver will also get job. Okay, so number 3 is the government can locate industries near semi-rural areas where the large number of people may be employed. So if the government can locate industry in near the semi-rural areas, then what happen, most of the people will get job in that. Okay, number 4 is by establishing more educational institutes. So if the government will establish more educational institute, then most of the unemployed educated person will get job. Okay, and number 5 is government can also create in tourism sector, as our India have all the physical features like mountains, deserts, plateaus, coastal areas. So India has everything, so the tourism will grow in India. So if the government will create jobs in tourism sector, then what will happen, more person will get employed. But this is the long term process, as tourism is a very long process and it's a long term process. It